Okay. I was on the completely wrong thing. Like, I planned a stream event. But it had not booted up, which is bad. I was going to share the stream. Let's share this. Okay. It's taken me a couple of minutes just to get like my head in the right headspace. Now I've got to figure out exactly what I want to do, which I don't know. I want to do more of these, but I want to fix this. Let's try and fix this first, because like it's got stuff. It's got stuff with it. Where's my eraser? I want to do this one in gouache. Bye, Cressy. This was supposed to be my character Cressida. She is an ancestor of the Mariposan royals. It's saying no one is here, even though there was like 3 in the mistake one. Is there anybody here now? I don't know. currently saying that there is no one here, and I'm like, oh great, lovely. Oh well, at least it gives me time to like get my crap together. The only thing with having a sketch underneath what I've already done is that I a lot of the time default to what it used to look like. So I hope I don't do that this time. Why did it look better before? Oh. I guess I'm at that stage in an art piece where I'm regretting my life choices. It's a process, Zoe. I mean, as much as I love this new pencil, I will say the one thing I do not like about it comes with the sharpener. And it's like, if you drop this sharpener, the lead goes everywhere. Or if you turn it upside down, the lead just goes everywhere. So you have to tap out the lead. But that's my only real gripe with it. Other than that, I'm actually enjoying it. I'm trying to like make her head look down a little bit more, because that was my previous issue. Feels like the face is too small, or like something's up. I just keep going back and forward on it. It's not working. Now, question is, can I actually draw these hands correctly? Probably not. Because I've already tried once, and that was a disaster. Oh god. I've got a piece of blue tack stuck in this. This must have been from my conventions. Can I fish it out? Probably not the best idea to fish it out with this lead, but it's what I've got. I'm trying to get blue tack out of the lid. Oh, that lead sharpener. It's all over my arm. Okay. Let's see if we can pick up more with this eraser, because it tends to pick up more lead. It tends to soften the effect. Kind of. The only thing I succeeded in was getting kneadable eraser trapped underneath my nail. Something I could also do on this stream is possibly do some stuff for Scrawlerbox. Some like sketches for Scrawlerbox. Because I honestly do not have a clue what I'm going to be doing with that. At least not yet, anyway. We got a very interesting colour palette this time around. We got like these purples. Like the purples, and like we have this dark red. We have some browns, and we also have some greys as well. It's a very muted purpley colour scheme. Like warm purpley. Although there's this one colour that's like not warm at all, really. Oh god, I am struggling. Why am I hating this more and more I work on it? Sure, I hate this as I'm working on it, but I am a stubborn person. My stubbornness is like, you will make this work. I do think this is an infinitely better hand. In the position I want? Probably not, but it does look infinitely better than what I previously had in terms of that hand. Hi! You're studying for a final right now? Oh my god. I wish you the best of luck in it. Who are you drawing? This is that drawing of Cressida I started and then I did nothing with. Because I wanted to turn it into a painting. Because on this page, with, I think I decided on Rayla. With this character, but I used markers in this one, and you can kind of see some of the markers bleed through, so I was thinking of using gouache on the back of this page. I have my mini gouache palette. Oh god. Oh, it leaked. Well, I did clean the top of it just before the stream, so it must have been a little bit wet from the inside. This is one of those stay wet palettes anyway, so it's going to be a bit messy. It's juicy. That juicy, juicy paint. Part of me wants to just scrap this page entirely because it's not going how I want it to. Obviously I won't be ripping this page out because, you know, it's got this on the back of it. Like, it's actually got a great piece of artwork. Oh. It's one of those moments where you wish you would have just started anew on a brand new page instead of trying to make it work, but no. You're stubborn. You're stubborn as a pack mule. She really is. Maybe changing pencils might help. Like, she looks like Yulia and Holly. She does. I will say she looks more like Callias' side of the family. That's because, like, her connection is like through the Mariposan family, which is Callias. So I would say, in terms of who she looks like, the two present day royals that look the most like Callias is Sky and Yulia. Also, I literally found out that Zephyr takes on Mariposa's dynasty name. Which I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, it definitely took me off guard a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, okay. This hand is like way too big for like the side that it's on. And its position is like whack. This is what happens when you go in with no plan, really. I mean, sometimes winging it works, but like, the scene where winging it just does not work. Marriner, yeah, I know. I have no idea whether it was actually done, mainly to like separate out the size of the family. Just like Emmett's way of saying, I have nothing to do with Alistair. Like, if I was doing pose studies, because like something that I showed off in the previous stream, I say previous, I say like about 10-20 minutes ago ish, I live streamed on the wrong setting, so I had to like start a brand new stream. I'm like, no. Oh. But I've been doing like pen sketches to like try and get myself warmed up. And I've just been using Pinterest for like these poses and stuff. And part of me wants to do some like ice skating or like ballerina poses for Sophia. I guess that was the other option for what to do during this stream. Am I out of lead? No, I'm not. I think I started a brand new piece of lead inside the pencil. Yes, skating! Skating! I cannot wait to see Silas skating. Or should I say falling on his butt? I definitely feel like the anatomy is like all out of sorts. Then again, it usually is. It usually is. Now I'm trying to remember what hair Cressy has. I mean, what hair did I draw her with in the previous sketches? Also, Osiris. Oscar and Iris. I love them. I love them. I will happily draw them again. Whether it will be on the stream, I don't know, but like I know I will draw them again at some point. Okay, so I did draw her with the plait, but I also have drawn her with her hair down. I'm like, I should zoom in, really. Okay, I need a better prop for this. The face is all squiff. And I know I spent a while doing the face as well, but I'm like, oh, it's wonky. Don't even get me started when you flip it, like you mirror it. Mirroring drawings makes me depressed. Because, like, it looks good in one direction, but does it look good in both? 90% of the time, no it doesn't. Okay, already I'm liking the way this face is looking. It's going a lot smoother, like in terms of how it's coming out. Are the eyes looking a bit wonky? Yes, but highlights will fix that. Usually highlights can save it when it's looking a little bit cross-eyed. Obviously there is a point in which highlights won't be able to save it, but for the most part, when looking in specific directions, whites of the eyes, like the highlights in the eyes and the cash lights, will actually help. To be honest, I'm not really sure what favourite colour she has. I mean, I was asked what colour the rose will be, and it's red. Whether that's her favourite colour, I don't know, but like... It's a red rose. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reposition this nose just a little bit, like maybe raise it up a little bit. I've also been posting a lot to my my Instagram story about like relatable like art TikToks and like reels and stuff, because I'm just like, I relate to all of these. I also need to start being more active on my social media. Like, that's the one thing I miss, like about my college days. So college is going back 2013 to 2015, so about 10 years ago now. I used to post whatever and whenever. I just did not care. I was brand new to Instagram at the time because I finally got a phone that could support Instagram back then. And I was on it all the time. And I was obsessed with just posting all random stuff. Like, even if it wasn't my drawings or anything, like, was stories a thing at the time? Can't remember. Might have been. I keep getting distracted from the hair. I'm just like, but I've got to do this, but I want to do that. Wasn't there a thing in this sketchbook where I was actually going to do gouache portraits? Yeah, I did it here for Jonathan, Loki, and Kai. But yeah, I never followed through with it for Emlyn, Taifi, and Kiyomi, and Haruto, Hayako. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've used gouache. Oh, part of me wants to draw the bonnet. Part of me wants to draw that bonnet that she wears. Cressy is so cute in that bonnet. Like, you know when she travels, she wears a bonnet. She is so adorable. I love her. When I first saw Cressy in that bonnet, I was like, oh my god! My baby! is that picture again? My brain is like, you will forget everything. You will forget everything that you're doing. Give me a picture of Cressy in her bonnet. Yeah, she's like constantly being depicted in like a bonnet, and it's so cute. Am I going to draw this bonnet correctly? Probably not, but we'll give it a go. Where's that? Let's go with this one because like it's good for looser. Also, it would cover her ears a bit. Would be kind of closer to the face. Maybe a little bit of hair like poking out, I guess. Because a lot of my princesses have like really flowy hair. So let's give her flowy hair. I mean, at the moment, I am actually working on a convention video. I am working on one, but in terms of the structure of said video, I am struggling. I'm like, how do I structure this? Because I have footage from like all throughout February, but like no structure whatsoever. And I think that's what I'm struggling with when I get to like videos, making content. My mind wants structure. Also, if you've been on my channel for a while and remember the making a game video from last year, from like early last year, where I attended the Immersive Arts Bootcamp, and that was like a 3-week bootcamp using like Unity and Blender and all that kind of thing. They've got another one running, and I applied and I got in. And I'm going to be doing that through April through to July. Because this time, instead of a 3-week one, it's 12 weeks. So my April is going to be a bit hectic too. But my next selling event isn't until Oh, I forgot. My next selling event isn't until September, so that's good. Is this Unity related? So when I say 12 weeks, basically it's like one day a week is like classes. And then the rest of the week is like fitting it in when you can, or like figuring out other parts of it, essentially. So it's over 12 weeks, but like there's 12 sessions, if that makes sense. It also gives you more time to have a more fully fleshed out idea and get more help, which is good. This one's not Unity related. It's Unreal Engine 5, which is like the latest and greatest in like game stuff. So I'm nervous. Like in game engines, Unreal Engine is like the standard, at least at the moment. It is. It has me nervous though. Also, there is going to be one of the weeks is going to be looking into Blender again, and going into more like rigging and character stuff, and I am excited for that that part, because that's like the main thing that I wanted. Because that was one of the things that I stated for like improvements to the course. I do too. I really hope it goes well. I've got to sign several forms though, right? Because I received all the forms not yesterday, Friday. And I have not signed any of them as of yet, and I need to. But I've also been doing some work for a job. So in terms of applying for jobs, some jobs require you to do like a design task as part of like the interview process. And I'm in the middle of that, but they have not set a deadline. And I'm like, what is the deadline on this? Like, sure, I'll get this done as soon as possible, but I want to know what your plans are here. Obviously, if I get that role, it would be a case of like scaling back how much content I'm currently planning on doing. Or at least trying to work around it, if that makes sense. And I have to do like eight separate things. So four at one side. No, four images at one specific size, and then another 4 at another size. Like in terms of design. Will be full-time. I think so. If I remember correctly, I think so. But I don't think it's for one specific client either, because this role that I applied for is like a in-house graphic designer. So it's like for a specific company that gets hired out by various other companies, if that makes sense. So, or at least I think that's how it works. I suppose, would you call that an agency? I don't know, because like, I know some university classmates of mine actually are represented by agencies. I would say the only crappy part about this design task is like it's not allowed to be put on my portfolio for anything. So that's the only thing that does suck about it. I'm not able to put it in my portfolio. Because I'm coming up with some really interesting designs, or at least I think they're interesting. Yeah, that's the only downside about it. They actually have, like, some places when you do those sort of tasks are okay with it, but there's other places that are just like, no. No. It can't. I'd say that's the only downside about like in-house graphic designer roles, is that it's more hush hush and secretive. Or at least that's how I've always viewed it from the outside looking in. But also with the Immersive Arts Bootcamp, again, they've got portfolio reviews, and they're doing more for like helping participants try and get into work, or like finding steps in between. There's more support there this time, which I'm hoping will work out a lot better than it did for me the first time. Because sure, it upped my skills, but it didn't really do anything for me in the work front. I think because it was the very first ever Immersive Arts Bootcamp that they didn't really know what they were doing. Or at least, like, some things were a lot bigger than they planned. Yeah, I really hope so too. Because it's not not the work I struggle with. It's like I find graphic design work easy. Like I really like doing graphic design work. The only thing I would say about it is that it's a little tedious, especially if like multiple edits are needed. Like any more than like 3 edits and I'm like, oh god, this is starting to get tedious, especially if it's like minute little details. But for me, it's like, it's easy and it's great work for me because I'm a perfectionist. I just struggle with the communication aspect. Oh, I really like this dress. That's a really cute dress. Because my YouTube videos and like the content in terms of like the voiceovers or even the live streams, like you tend to see more mistakes slipping in, or like me not knowing how to word my sentences. Like in the live streams you see that, but like in the videos you can tell that it's been like the speech has been edited. Sometimes not very well. I look back on older videos and I'm like, oh, you could have done that audio a bit better. But in real life, I'm just like, yeah, my communication skills are absolutely awful. Oh, me. Absolutely me. Like, something that has been identified by, like, a psychologist for me, personally, is, like, the way I describe it is that my brain and my mouth aren't connected half the time. Like, thoughts just travel through the void to get to the mouth, and they end up mixed up and jumbled up. Sometimes nothing comes out at all. You have a job interview on Tuesday? Oh my god, I wish you the best of luck for that. You have to articulate thoughts. It's right after your final. Oh my god. Well, I hope everything goes okay. This feels like a mix of like all the dresses that Cressy has worn. So this neckline reminds me of like the first dress she wore, like the red one when she's introduced. Do you have any birthday plans? No! No, I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing for my birthday, and it's on Wednesday. Yay. I don't know what you would call the birthday that is like the same day as your age. Because like I'm 27 on the 27th of March. I don't know what you call that. I would also call that old. Well, old in YouTube terms, anyway. Don't remind me. Almost 30. That was you last year. Oh. I'm not completely rubbing it out. I'm getting rid of the excess lead for the paint. Because I don't want the lead to like blend into the paint. Okay, I need a binder clip. Do I have one in here? I did have one in here, but it's decided it does not want to live in my pencil case anymore. You'll be halfway to 50. That's my sister. My sister's 25 this year. Her birthday's in April though. So it's not for a bit. I will say the one thing that I will be doing for my birthday, or at least like the day before my birthday, is buying that Tord figure with the collectible pin. Also, did you see I posted their marketing video to my story? They went absolutely, excuse the expression, they went absolutely batshit crazy with that marketing. Yes, the Tord figure. It's a real thing. In the video, I had literally just found out about it, and I was like, if this is a lie, or if this is like an early April Fool's joke, I'm gonna throw some hands. But it's not, it's real. It's on a pre-order basis. Like, it won't be shipping until later in the year, but like, oh, give me. It comes out at 4 o'clock, I think. Like 4 o'clock US, not US, UK time. On Tuesday. Yeah, it comes with a collectible pin. Like, there's two options. There's one without the pin and there's one with the pin, and you know I'm collecting that pin. You're a 1997 baby. Are you a millennial or Gen Z? I'm that really awkward middle child between the two. I would say I'm probably more Gen Z. Okay. I always get nervous to even start painting as well. Also, just to warn you ahead of time, and for anybody else coming in, gouache paintings, they always look bad before they look good. Always. There's always a really, really, really bad stage, really ugly phase. Gouache paintings are what you call the ugly ducklings. They look cute in the end. They look really good and cute in the end, but like, yeah, they have a teenage ugly face. Like, ooh. They have a very bad teenage oof phase. Okay. Now how do I mix a skin tone? It's also like my paint is like semi. semi-dried up because I have not used it in so long. Let's get a bit of this blue in it just to like cool it down a little bit. I need there's something else I need and I can't put it into words. Eyedropper tool, yeah, that's what I need. This water's going to get dirty very, very quickly, so I'm going to need at least some somewhat clear water. Okay, it's looking a bit orange. Purple, maybe? I add purple to like all of my colours, so I'm hoping that this might help it. Okay, that kind of works. Just adding a little bit of pink into it. Bring it down with a little bit of green. I'm desaturating a little. Maybe a little bit too much. Colour mixing has always been one thing that I'm like, am I good at? Debatable. Debatable. I've completely ruined this colour mix. Let's see if we can fix it again. It's always skin tones that I struggle with mixing the most, I think. Like, I'm trying. Now that looks like I'm back to square one. don't think I ever finished this hand, like when drawing. So let's just try and wing it with the paint. Because I do that a lot with gouache. I tend to wing it. Because it's an opaque medium. Like, you don't need to, like, get it right every single time. I just realised Cressy would be wearing gloves. I'm just going to use this sunny colour as like a base colour for her hair. Because I tend to like mix, like I tend to blend while I'm doing stuff. That was a bad choice. That was a bad colour choice. What did I say about gouache painting puberty? Itch. Itch. I will say, I loved painting with gouache when I was in Tenerife. Because it dried really quickly. Like, the consistency was amazing. try not to add too much water to this right now and see where I can go. I was going to take a TikTok video, but like, if my phone's updating currently, so no can do. Oh well. I don't know what my next video should be, whether it should be the conventions or like whether it should be the scroller box, because like, literally the scroller box came in and I have the intro filmed, like in terms of the unboxing for that. I just don't have the artwork, and I do not know what I want to do for that, like in terms of the artwork. I forgot that gouache is a case of going back and forth.
Hello, Moto.
That was my phone restarting from its update. I forgot how long gouache painting actually takes. Colour mixing, not my best forte, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, I've done worse. I was going for like a watery consistency. Now I'm going for like a very creamy sort of consistency now. So it does look a bit better. Needs a bit more yellow in it. Like it's in sunny sort of yellow. Like a warm. Not like a lot, but definitely a bit more. Because it was a real cool tone. You need it to be lightened. bristle comes out of the brush. I have had this brush for many years though. So I'm not going to judge it too harshly. Trying to blend out. I tend to take the skin tone very delicately. Oh, we are deep in the midst of gouache puberty right now. Especially with the skin and the hair. Oh my god. The hair, not so much. Like, it's coming together. You can see the hair is kind of coming together a bit. But, like, the skin, ooh. That needs some work. Like, in terms of painting. You can tell it's not done. Well, she's freckly as well, so I think I'd be able to get away with at least a little bit of texture coming through from the paper. I'm running out of paint on the palette. Means I have to mix more. I think I'm gonna go with like a pink as like the base tone. It still has a bit of the colour left over from when I was trying to do the skin really softly with this brush. try and do as much as I can on this stream. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna, like, call this stream. But I might be switching between projects because, like, this is gonna take... This is gonna take a while. And also, between layers drying as well, I want to get other stuff done. Or at least try and get some other stuff. In the works. What I might do is I might add some purple while I'm at it as well. Just add a little bit more, like, dynamic kind of colour to it. I want the rose to stand out, so it's gonna be red. Ooh. Hello, Rose. It's been a really, really quiet stream. Like, which is fine. Like, I'm okay with a quiet stream. To be fair, I had no idea what I was doing during this, and people watching me do nothing is a bit boring, so understand. I can understand why. Why does Cressy remind me of Little Bo Peep? Now I can't get that image out of my head. Oh. No, Zoe, you shouldn't be saying your, like, internal thoughts. It will only end with you ruining things. Well, that is a fair thing to get upset about. I'm having an indecisive with this. I'm like, it's a cute sketch, don't get me wrong, it's just, it's in its stages of gouache puberty. Really not a fan of it when it's in its stages of gouache puberty, not gonna lie. Don't look good. Hello. Thank you for subscribing. Not gonna lie, I think for future reference I might need to turn down my alert sounds because that kind of scared me a little bit. I don't know whether it's these brushes that I'm having issue with, because like I didn't have trouble with these on holiday, or like maybe I was going for a bit more of a looser style on holiday, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit like fussy right now. Who knows? Where are my good brushes? Oh, I'm trying to find them. Oh. I think that's the one I'm looking for. I call this one my Casey Golden brush because it came in the Squirrel box that featured Casey Golden. Oh, I really like that colour. I've mixed up like this raspberry sort of colour. That's a pretty colour. Me too. What do you think I'm trying to right now? Is it working? Debatable. It feels like ages since I've painted, even though, technically speaking, the last time I painted I was at a convention. I want to dress up for my next convention. Obviously, I've got to think about it way ahead of time because obviously closer to the convention I'm not going to have the time, like at all. I'm just not going to have that time because I'll be busy with stock and stuff, but I have no idea what to go as. I mean, in the comments of the Worcester show, somebody said they saw me, but they were too shy to come up, and I was like, no, I don't bite. A Winsor & Newton ad. That is very, very fitting. I cannot tell whether this is like... Oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh, the new Android update redesigned the look of this. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I like this change. Then again, I don't like change at all. Dealing with change is like stressful enough. Yeah, my system updated today, and I don't know if I like it. It's gonna take me a bit to get used to it, because like the lock screen, like my notifications used to appear over like a black version of my screen. Okay, it still kind of does. Like it still kind of does. It's just the clock is like way bigger. Yeah, I'm mostly Android. I do have an iPad, but that's about it. Like honestly, in my entire life I've only had like 2 Apple products, and that's like 2 iPads. I had an iPad during college, and I have an iPad Pro now, and that's it. I really want to try and deepen this colour, but I'm not sure how I want to do that. Maybe a bit of green might help deepen it. Ooh, that colour's like... I like that. I did want this to be like a light dress, but I'm going in with like more and more saturated kind of colours. I'm being really sloppy with it. Because I tend to find my sloppy pieces usually end up way better than my nice pieces. But then again, like, that's only about 75% of the time, so we're playing with fire a little bit. I got my first iPad in college, and I actually only paid £100 for it. It's because you were able to get like a smaller iPad, like a really small iPad, for free, or you could get a bigger one for like only £100. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Obviously not £100 all at once. It was like £100 over the course of like 5 months, so you're only paying like £20 a month. And it was deducted out of your bursaries anyway, so. Am I messing this up now? Probably. But I don't know, I'm feeling more of the lighter. My Aries nature is coming out. Oh. Or should I say too much Gene? Because I swear I have one of those. Just not knowing when to stop. Gotta say, iPad Pro, life changing. Didn't think it was as life changing until I got it. I don't know how I have been living with it, like living without it all this time. I think I need to let it dry, so I can layer it up better. But I want to do some blending while it's wet as well. Man, the gouache puberty is really hitting this one hard. It was starting off so well. I was going for more of a watercolour vibe at the start, but I was like, wait, no, you wanted to do more of a gouache vibe, mainly because the piece on the other side uses marker and it bled through a bit. It's also just my indecisiveness that's killing this piece. This is a big ass rose. Then again, it's supposed to be like an enchanted rose. So it's allowed to be big. Keep telling yourself that, Zoe. Keep telling yourself that. Maybe one day you might believe it's true. try and blend the colours, I'm scrubbing at the paint. I tend to do that with gouache. I tend to scrub at it. Her eyes are actually green. So let's do, well, they're more hazel than green, but we'll do a green as a base. Oh, she looks so sweet. She looks darling. Oh, I hate that. Look at, I don't know whether you can see this, but like the TikTok logo. The TikTok logo. Ugh. No, thank you. You're mentioning me in a story. Haha. Oh, I forgot to refocus the camera. I see that story. Yeah, I don't... Let's just fix up that area right there. Because I don't think you'd be able to see the underside of the rose. Or at least, if you would see more of like the green stem coming out. I should have done like a base coat of like this pale pink, like very pale pink, and then do like swirls on the top. Let's cover that then. Let's make her bonnet fluffy on the inside. She looks so sweet. Look at her. I've gone through so many emotions with this piece already. That's the way it goes with gouache, to be fair. With gouache, it has gone through so many stages while you were gone. Celestial Royals. It's gone through so many stages. It was like this really dark pink, and now it's like this really, really light baby pink. It's been really watery and horrible. I've been I've emotionally hated it. I'm at a stage where I'm starting to like the process. Just yes. I'd say so. I will say though, like her winter ball outfit was supposed to be like a pinky purple. Yeah, gouache is like an in-between of acrylic and watercolor. So it's got the opacity of acrylic, but it's easier to clean, like watercolor is. We do love an art supply that's like easier to clean. So these particular gouache. So this gouache is the Himi gouache. Himi gouache. I will say with gouache you can make it thicker and like more creamier. And also I would say gouache is a little bit more forgiving, but it takes more time to perfect. With watercolor, like there's like strokes that you can perfect that you can get it done pretty much like straight away. But it's transparent, so anything underneath you will see. You can actually water down gouache, so I like gouache because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So you can actually water it down to be really, really thin, say like this. You can see like underneath the paper, you can actually see the paper underneath, but it can be like really, really thick like this, where you can't see the paper. Yeah, explaining gouache is really hard. Because I don't know how to put it into words. Like, I know I've done a video on using Himi gouache before. Oh, and it was bad. It was bad. Or at least I remember it being bad. There's this old piece of like Lucille and I hated it. I hated it when it came out. I was like, no, this is not good. This is not good at all. Okay. I've done a watercolour gouache painting. I've done a couple in this sketchbook actually, like this one. Where are they? I did this one. This one was like a Pinterest study. I did this on my mum's birthday. It was kind of like a happy birthday, mother. But you can kind of see the differences with the transparency here if you look. Basically, this is like really, really thin gouache when you water it down, and you can see like the pencil marks in the background. That's also an effect you can get with watercolour. But you can also see how really, really thick it is. Like, you can build up opacity with gouache. Where's the other one? Or is there more than one? There's multiple in here that I did with gouache. Because this paper was, like, not the best for watercolour, but it takes gouache really well. Here's another Pinterest study. Well, it was kind of, like, inspired by several artists on Instagram, but also my own take on it. So, like, a watercolour with, like, sun rays, like a waterfall with sun rays coming through. I really like that one. There was also this one that I did. It's right next to the page of Sophia, because of course it is. But this was in 2022. But yeah, that's also gouache. Yes, Saf! It's Sophia! We love her. She is the light of our lives. Definitely the light of Silas's life. Also, with watercolour, you have to go light to dark. So you have to start off with your lightest colour. You have to plan. You basically have to plan your lights and darks a lot easier. You have to plan. There, sorry. Brain needs to be in gear for a second. Hang on. You need to plan out your lighting when you're doing watercolour more so. Whereas with gouache, you can go back in later and like correct it if need be. You can work from dark to light. So this dress originally, like, well, while you were gone, I was experimenting with colours, and it got really, really dark really, really quickly. And I was like, this isn't looking like Cressida at all. Like, this isn't Cressida's vibe. Like, even now, it's still a little bit on the dark side. But with gouache, you can start with a darker colour and then work at it to be lighter. Whereas with watercolour, once a colour is down, you are not getting that back up. Unless, of course, you've got like a specific watercolour that lifts really well. But like, you are going to have colours that just stain. hope I'm making sense. I also have other gouache pieces in this sketchbook as well. Also, I don't know whether you were here for me saying it, but I cannot unsee it now. Cressida is Little Bo Peep. I cannot. Oh. If I've ruined it for myself, then I'll ruin it for all of you too. I'm sorry. Cannot unsee it. I know that there was a gouache piece in here. Look, it's Saf. I'm pretty sure that there was gouache in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Oh, hang on. I need to hold it up because obviously I don't want to get it on the page. But like, this is gouache. You can see how I started with like a really, really dark square of like blue and black paint. Sorry, there's a little fly going around. But I started with like black and then built in all of the light from there. Oh, this is also gouache too. It's gouache with some lines on top of it. I did use a bit of like a watercolour effect in the background too. Yeah, Saf has invaded all of my sketchbooks. Like, cannot escape Sophia. I really can't. Oh, there's also this sketchbook that I've started as well. Also, oh yeah, no, that's not Saf. That's Micah and Yumi. I thought it was Sophia and Silas for a second. This sketchbook does not have Saflas, at least yet. But it does have Osiris. Oh my god, this drawing's almost a year old. Ah! Wait, does this sketchbook have any? Sorry, I've got like a drawer filled with like semi-recent sketchbooks. It's not really gouache, I don't think. This is like ink, more so. I thought there was gouache in this one, but there isn't. Oh, there's one of Kai. I'm sorry, but like that just is giraffe neck Kai. The sketchbook drawer, I have that. No, I have a box of sketchbooks, like a Kallax box in my cupboard of like old sketchbooks. And then the top drawer is literally like sketchbooks that I need to complete, or like I haven't completed yet, or recently completed. It's got like various degrees of done recent stuff. Yeah, I think that's the only gouache piece in here. That's a shame. Oh, don't worry, I've gone weeks without drawing in my sketchbook. I've gone months. I felt really sorry for my sketchbook when I got my iPad for the first time. Also, great thing about gouache. I know I keep bringing up stuff about gouache, but like I really like it because with acrylic, once it's dried down, you cannot pick it back up again at all. So once it's there, it's there. It's like ink in that way. Ink is kind of like, it is more like watercolour, but it's there once it's dry. She is. Cressy is younger than Saf. That's why I say the or at least I pictured her to be younger than Saf. But like Vampire Empire's timeline makes it seem like Cressy is actually older than Saf. If that makes sense. That's why I'm like, our timelines are a little bit screwy right now. Or at least just in general. They were a little bit better before Victorian Empire's changed it, but like whatever they want to do with their story, it's up to them. I'm not sorry. I'm getting tongue-tied. Whatever they want to do, like with changing the dates of their story, that is up to them. But yeah, originally I planned for Cressy to be younger than Saf. However, she could be older as well. Like, I don't see why not in terms of making her older than Saf. Yeah, the 3 timeline. To be honest, I think in terms of age, my timeline is like the most forgiving because I don't go with real life dates. Like Marriner has its own definition of dates. That's why in the description of my story post you can see that there's like a specific number. But it's not like a date that's a real life date. It has its own date system. That's fair enough. It's fair enough to have your story in the modern day. To be honest, with the way my stories work, it's like some kingdoms, like it's set in the modern day, however some kingdoms are not as advanced as others. So that's why you get some kingdoms that have more of like a I wouldn't say medieval vibe, but like they have more of a backwards approach. Yeah, that's what I pictured. That's what I pictured with Cressy. I think with gouache, it's like the most forgiving, but it's also quite tedious to learn because of the consistency. Like, it depends what consistency you get, but like I think the best I think the best gouache has been the Himi gouache so far. Just it's the most fun to play with. Like I've used professional gouache, especially in uni, but and even like cheaper gouache, but like it doesn't have the same consistency as this jelly gouache. It's nice. I like this jelly gouache. You have Cressy's. Are you gonna do an Edward? I think she would be. So, say if you had like the preteen mod, I think she would be a preteen. Sorry to be awkward. I don't have the preteen mod installed, at least at the moment. I'd probably make her a short teen though. You know, with like height settings and stuff. That's fair. That is completely understandable. You could download like height presets for teens and kids. That's one way of getting around it, I guess. To make like like some of the kids taller and like the teens shorter. However, it will make some like interacting animations be a little bit funky, but like for immersion, it works, I guess. Because you know how you have toddler height presets. We used to use toddler height presets for like especially for infants. Now we don't have to do that. have 2 sets of this gouache, mainly because it was like a mistake on the part of my mum and dad. Like my dad brought me a set, and then my mum also brought me a set as well. One Christmas. But I do use them. And yeah, they do dry up. However, you can actually reactivate them by letting water soak in them. And they even, like, but you can even use them, like, dry as well. They work more like watercolours when you use them dry, though. Or you, like, have to get a lot on your brush to make them more opaque. That's why I got a smaller Stay Wet palette. I haven't really suffered with any of the mold. I think that's a case of like what water you use to reactivate them. So a lot of people, like, I haven't had any issue personally, but I know that some people who are concerned with using mold, like getting mold in their paints, use distilled water. Or use like bottled water or something. But I personally haven't had any issues. I suppose with the tap water, it might depend on the hardness of your water. When I say the hardness of the water, that basically just means how cloudy is your water. Here in the UK, it's like there are different water companies. So, for example, I think our water is harder water, so it's more clear, I think. But it causes more limescale. Whereas, like, around my grandparents' house, they've got a different water company, so it's like they've got more cloudy. But yeah, I believe like where I live, we have hard water, so and I've had no issues. It might also be a temperature thing as well, like especially with letting water sit around, obviously, with the stagnating. Yeah. Himi gouache is really, really good. I think I have a video on Himi gouache. Yeah, I have a video on trying out Himi gouache, and I also have one where I painted a sketchbook cover. I also have like a really old video that's like, oh, it's disgusting. It was during my uni days. And it was with Winsor & Newton gouache. And I don't mind Winsor & Newton gouache. It's okay. but I prefer Himi gouache, personally. Oh god. The video just playing in the background. Ah! Does this have the artwork that I hate? No, it doesn't. Thank the Lord. Oh, it does, but it's like a quick little tester piece. Thank God. Oh. But yeah, I do have like an impressions and demo video. No, there's this picture of Lucille that turned out disgusting. And I say it like that because, like, I hate it so much. Like, the sketch was not too bad, like, but I completely destroyed it. Hang on. Can I put it Okay, looking back, it's not as bad as I remember it being, but like I remember hating this with every fibre of my being when I first completed it. I hated it. Can I get the... Haha, there. Oh, I hated it. Every fibre of my being when I first did it. I fixed it. Like, I fixed it once I realised I knew I could fix it, but like, you should have seen it before I fixed it. Oh. I have a picture of Ebony. I really liked this one. We have Typhy. Oh, those were done with wash. Okay. I completely destroyed the paper in this sketchbook because I layered it on so thick and I watered it down so much that I warped the paper, and I was like scrubbing at the paper with the brush. Oh my god. I forgot that this was gouache too. Sorry. Like, I forgot that I did that in gouache. Oh. And I love that so much. It is. I love it so much. Like, Isla has a gap in her teeth too. Just like... That was referenced from a Sims screenshot. We have Loki and Elijah. Elijah's butt in that looks way too big. Oh. Or like something needs to be fixed about it, but like it's not too bad. It's not bad. It's thick. Where do I pause this one? Oh, Veronica. I love doing like misty, cloudy skies. Like the blending of like colours with gouache. Mwah! Just, it's soft and it's beautiful and I would say my digital style is the most like my gouache stuff.
Do you want?
I was watching the story. Do you want to form an alliance? Yes, absolutely. But I would say, like, and I've been saying this the whole time, while you were gone as well, that gouache paintings have the worst puberty while you're doing them. Because watercolour can look graceful and pretty and... Not gouache. They are the ugly ducklings in the in-between stage. They are the stage where you just question everything and you hate everything. Preteen stage, yeah. Don't look too closely. Don't look too closely in the preteen stage. Oof. It's like looking back at old pictures of me when I was in high school. Yeesh. Is a big yeesh from me. Also with gouache, be prepared to go over like and redo stuff that you've painted over by accident. Because it's very easy to go over stuff that you shouldn't have done. Patience. It will test your patience. It is already half midnight. What? I've been streaming for 3 hours. How? What? Where did the time go? I am confusion. how to make your colours instantly better. Mix them yourself. Because you gain an understanding of doing it. And you can create the exact tones that you want. It is at the end of March. It is the last Sunday of March. Oh, you don't mean it's tonight? Or is it the 31st? Hang on. I need to check this. We lose an hour. It's next week. Praise thy Lord. I was about to have a mental breakdown. It's next week. Although I say that, but like, I'm always like at least about 30% on the verge of a mental breakdown at all times. So it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to send me spiraling. Depends on the day. Sometimes it can be higher than 30%. But I would say on average about 30% of is just a constant state of like potential for a mental breakdown. This doesn't really look like a rose now, does it? No, it don't. This looks like an oversized tissue that's been balled up into the shape of a rose. And I just keep making it bigger. bit of white to it. Because going in with the darker colour and then going with the lighter colour on top, it kind of like blends it into it. I like to do a bit of colour mixing, like with the paint that's wet on the paper. This can be risky at times. It depends on the consistency of the paint, because if you water it down a bit too much, then it can get a bit dicey. But for the most part, it works. It works out. When in doubt, add more paint. I'm gonna have this like little belt match the bow. Originally, I was gonna keep it white, but like, this is my piece. It doesn't have to match a piece of like clothing that she wears in The Sims. Not exactly, anyway. This dry brushing technique kind of looks a little bit like netting. Looks cute. It's like a netting lace sort of vibe going on here. adding a little bit of water and a light touch. I think on that Nicholas and Isla piece, I did this kind of line work. I didn't really do pen. I think the only pen that I used on it was the eyes. Like, the eyes and the mouth. Like, something that I needed, like, huge precision with. But I think in terms of regular line work, I just used the gouache itself. For it to flow really nicely, you do need the right consistency though. So not too wet and not too dry either, because you want a nice consistent line. The lines really finish it, like, or at least like they help to finish it. This shoulder is like floating into the ether. Oh my god. I think I might have to like wait for that to dry and then cover that in white, because it's like, it is so far off her shoulder that it is floating. Sometimes I can get a bit carried away, because it is such an enjoyable medium. Doing a little bit of the shadows, like underneath. also say gouache is quite versatile with paper as well. What kind of paper? I would say anything that's like 140 GSM and above. Obviously, the better paper, the higher quality paper, the better, but like it's pretty forgiving because with gouache, you can use it in a way that like it adds bulk to the paper. Because like the thicker you layer it, it's like it adds bulk to it. I would recommend at least a cardstock. I'd never really go underneath 140 GSM with gouache. Personally, and that's like a personal preference. In that video, I was using like 140 GSM, I believe. I think that's the lowest I would go with it. I'm not sure exactly what grade of paper this is. I know it's a moleskin. It's a moleskin watercolour sketchbook, this one. So it's pretty decent paper, all things considered. Oh, I have some prints in the back of here. Oh, it's 200 GSM. Or £135 paper. Don't know whether you can see. But yeah, this is a watercolour notebook. You don't need this exact sketchbook. What is that? I'm confused. Ooh. But a lot of what you use with watercolour can be used with gouache. Because it works in a very similar way. A lot of the time I use watercolour paper anyway. I mean, this paper I've used gouache on, and this is more of like a cardstock. This is more of a smoother paper as well. Where is the gouache piece? Aha. It's like way more of a yeah, this one's definitely thicker, but they're about the same-ish in terms of thickness. But you can definitely tell that they're different paper types meant for different things. I would say gouache is the most forgiving in that aspect. It's just the most forgiving in general. It's like a really happy middle ground between a lot of different supplies. Oh, that's great. 300 GSM. Well, I say GSM, like G/M2. But either way, like that's a great grade of paper. The thicker the better, to be honest. Let's fix up this hair because it's a little bit on the... Also, one thing I really love about the Himi gouache is it comes with 2 whites, because you will use the colour white a lot. Like, white is one of the main colours you will use. Okay, now it's looking more like Cressy. Making the hair lighter in colour. I would offer gouache commissions, but I don't know. One, I don't know how archival this gouache is. And 2, gouache just takes so long. It's a lot of back and forth. That's why I'm more so about the watercolour. I will use gouache sparingly on my watercolour pieces. Say on like highlights and stuff. Because you can see how you can get like really, really nice highlights with gouache. But I think gouache is just one of those mediums that I like to do for fun mainly. Like on my own time. So sure, I could do gouache commissions at some point, but I just hope it wouldn't take away my love of gouache. I also, while I'm doing any gouache piece, I have moments of like hating it and wanting to rip it to pieces. obviously I wouldn't want to do that with a commission. It's a love-hate relationship. Yeah. You're so happy with it once it's done, but like it's a roller coaster getting there. Mostly love, yeah. I'd say mostly love, but like there are moments where I really want to throw it out the window. There are moments. Especially in the early phases when it's looking like the ugly duckling. I think this piece is getting to a stage where it's starting to blossom. It's starting. Is it there yet? Not quite. I don't think it's quite there yet, but like it's getting there. Slowly but surely. I will also warn you about that Himi Gouache palette. It's heavy as hell. It's why I decided to get one of these palettes and then put it into smaller pots. One, it's like, it takes up less space on the desk and it's easier to travel with. It also comes with a water cup. As you can see, my water is pink. But I have taken that palette with me to my grandmother's house. Like the big huge palette I have actually taken places. So it can be done. It's just heavy. How many colours is your big palette? My palette has 18. Like, it's an 18 colour palette. Hang on. Let me just try and get it out. Oh. So this sketchbook is like an A4 when it's like this. You can see that it crosses the entirety of an A4 sketchbook. Like an A4 piece. Wait, no. Brain is not braining. So this is an A5 sketchbook that's like... Wait, yeah, this is A4. Sorry. Brain is not braining. It's about the width of an A4 piece of paper. Also, you do not need to be precious with this paint whatsoever, because I think you can get palettes where like you have less. But like when I got these were the only options available at the time, because it was a relatively new thing at the time. These, when you open these are like pudding cups. Each one of these has 30 mils of paint in it. This tube has 14 mils. So there's double the paint. However, though, in terms of like opacity, you will definitely use more for your thing. Yeah, the tubs are pretty big. I have seen a newer variant of these where basically you see where there's like the hinge in the middle. Basically what they've done with some of the newer designs is that they've put two colours into one pot. They've split the pot in half and they've got like half the amount. So they basically have two similar colours next to each other in the same pot that's like split in half. And I think that that's a very good idea, especially with how quick these have dried out. Well, I wouldn't say quick. They take a while to dry out. Obviously, the less paint you have, the quicker they'll dry out. I don't know how to word it. I really think that these should have come with like silicone mats, because this Stay Wet palette has like a silicone thing to put on top of it. I think this was like part of the first generation of Himi gouache sets. That's probably why it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that newer ones do. But yeah, the sets that I have are older generation ones of the Himi gouaches. And some of them do have like different tones in colour as well. Like some have like different types of like blues, purples, like greens. There's like different tones depending what you get. And there's also like various different brands as well. But the Himi gouache is also known as the Himi Mia gouache as well. You're really seriously considering this gouache thing, aren't you? Will we be seeing any art in the art channel of the server? Because excite if we are. Oh, don't be. Something that will appear in my con video, like my convention video, is that there is a sketchbook that I put out on the table, like a draw in my sketchbook activity that I put out on the table during my second con, and all walks of life drew in it, and it's so lovely. The amount of Has-Been Hotel fan art in there, though. It was making me happy. But, yeah, like, it's so lovely and sweet. I don't know where it is. Like, I know it's somewhere. Aha. There's not many pages, so I'll give you at least a sneak peek of, like, one of the double page spreads. But like you had like a little girl named Evie. It's so sweet. I love it so much. And you have like all the like little doodles as well, like a flower and a little cat. It's so sweet. And I'm going to be keeping this sketchbook specifically for the conventions. I'm doing 2 more striking event. I'm doing 2 more events that are held by striking, and I'm hoping that they have like the same size tables as we had in Worcester, because if they do, I'll be able to do that again. And that was a hit in Worcester. I don't know whether it will be a hit in Edgbaston, because I've never been to Edgbaston, like an Edgbaston version of a striking events one. But we shall see. We shall see. So please don't be intimidated. I love seeing like progression of artists. Please don't be intimidated. I mean, you don't even have to show everybody in the server. You can literally just send it to me if you like. Because I get messages from artists who just want to show me their work from time to time. I'm just like, oh, that's sweet. Or they ask me what they can improve, or like, and if I have the time, I will respond. Most of the time, I do respond. There are times where I've just been like, okay, what is this about? Because it's like out of the blue. When they ask first, I'm like, oh, yay, sure, yeah. When I'm caught off guard, that's when I'm a bit, ah. But that's in Instagram DMs. Like, in Discord, like, it's fine. This stem might be a bit too thick. Oh, it's definitely too thick. But then again, it's a big flower, so... I think I'm at a stage where I'm like, I don't know exactly what I want to do with this right now. And I think it's one of those where I'm probably going to have to go away and come back to it. View it with a fresh pair of eyes. I'm going to smooth out some of the edges with like some white gouache. I don't know if I'm going to paint the background either. I'll just do white for now because it blends in with the paper. And it gets rid of the pencil marks a bit. And I need to wait for it to fully dry until I can do any kind of like line work over the top. Or do I gamble? This isn't even one of my like really good fine liner pens. This is just a regular ink pen. I think I'll probably go over that. I'll go over that in paint. Because now the pen's got to dry. My too much genius taking over. Somebody stop me. Oh, but her face. Oh, I'm liking the way the black is looking though. I know I could have gone with a softer look, but like, I'm liking the way the black is looking. You can see her face just appear. She really is a cutie. She's a cutie pie. Okay, so I don't want to ruin it any further. I don't know how much further I'm going to go with the black line work. And it's also 20 past 1, believe it or not. Also, why does the head look really small? Now that I'm looking at it, like, her head looks like really, really small. Or maybe it's just the fact that the bonnet is just making her head look tiny. It feels like her head should be bigger. Like, the arms are out of proportion. I'm spotting all of the proportion issues now. Oh no. Yep, I'm spotting the proportion issues now. Oh, the head is small. Like, compared to the arms. Like, look at the size of the arms compared to that head. Oh. Okay. I think I should call it a night, because otherwise I'm never gonna call it a night and just be stubborn and try and fix it even more. So I think on this note, I am going to end the stream. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. Despite the fight with this piece. It's been a constant fight. But yeah. Hopefully this will be fixed at some point in the future. But yeah, I will see you in my next video, stream, whatever I decide to do. Bye. A battle. Definitely.